out in the city of Atlanta, and we've been in the city of Atlanta. And don't confuse us with NeighborWorks.
Right.
People get us mixed up sometimes. We're Neighborhood Works, and we're a local organization. We're not the big, giant federal congressional organization called NeighborWorks. Mm-hmm. But anyway, getting that out the way, we're a community housing development organization, and we help families who are at what the government considers low income to secure affordable housing.
Right.
As you know, we have a major affordable housing shortage in this country.
Yeah.
They estimate that out of probably about 11 million people who need affordable housing, 11 million families who need, households who need this affordable housing, probably about 7 million are not able to get it.
That's crazy,
Right.
man. That's way more than 60% of the people that actually need homes. And you know that home ownership goes directly along with the crime rate. So if you got people that are owning homes and being able to be in these neighborhoods, it shows dramatically. Statistics have shown that the crime rate drops.
Mm-hmm.
Ownership drops, the crime rate, and for you to be coming in and doing these type of programs, and this is great. How do people get it? So let's say a family wants to be a part of your situation. They want to learn how to, get an affordable home. How do you help them?
Well, first, we would seek a partnership in a particular city or county. And that city or county, for example, could be city of Atlanta. And once we engage in a partnership with them, that gives us access to funds that come through the city so that we can assist people who want to become homeowners in purchasing homes. So it would be a partnership between our organization, the city, and as well as other organizations that specialize in certain aspects of the home buying process.
Got you.
We have organizations out there who, I'll drop a name, Resources for Residents and Communities, organizations like that who do home buyer counseling.
Okay.
And HUD has a requirement of a 6 to 8 hour course for low-income families to benefit from the federal resources.
And most people don't know about that.
Right.
Like I know for sure I didn't when I bought my first home. I wasn't aware of these things, but I had to learn. Luckily, I had my pops around. He could tell me like, all right, you about to buy a house, go through HUD, look up what NACA was. He was like, I ain't gonna do the work for you. You got to figure it out. But he gave me all this information, but a lot of us don't know it. So for you providing that, man, that's awesome, man. Actually, it definitely is. And do some of these resources help you get like down payments for your homes or cut your interest rate and stuff like that?
Well, normally they help you with down payment assistance.
Okay.
Interest rates are really up to the private lenders are also part of the partnership kind of circle, and it's up to them what they're going to give you for interest rate. Of course, interest rates are very low right now, so it's a great time to buy. Although we're probably going to have a lot of foreclosures on the horizon once these eviction moratoriums are lifted from the federal government side and from the local side. But the interest rates usually for FHA loans anyway have to be reasonable, can't be exploitative. So they're going to be good anyway.
Yeah.
But down payment assistance programs are available. It really depends on which county you live in. We work in the Atlanta metropolitan area. We also do work in Bibb County and Macon, Georgia.
Nice.
So we've done several projects in DeKalb County with down payment assistance is a program that actually is based with the counties.
Okay.
And there's some other resources that can provide down payment assistance. What we would provide is subsidies in terms of acquiring the house, home buyer subsidies.
So what, for the layman's terms, what is the subsidy? Somebody outside looking in and want to know, what's that?
Well, in partnership with the city, for example, a family might want to buy a house and they're having trouble affording it. Mm-hmm. So they may qualify with a lender for, let's say, $80,000.
Right.
But the house that they need is probably $100,000.
Right.
So the city would through the city we would secure the difference.
The $20,000, that would be the subsidy.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Subsidize the missing piece.
Right.
But it's a delicate balancing act because we also don't want to. I mean, they end up getting the house for $80,000, even though it's appraised at $100,000.
Yeah.
Now, if we just let them get it for $80,000, then the neighbors would be very unhappy because now the property values are going down.
Because every time you buy a house, that fluctuates property value. So I get what you're saying. So being able to get that $20,000 keeps the property values same. Well,
the trick is we sell the house for $100,000 to this family, but they only pay for the $80,000. They get $80,000 loan from the bank. They get a $20,000 loan from us.
Got you.
Our loan is what they call a silent loan.
Okay.
It stays quiet as long as you don't try to flip that house before X amount of years that you're supposed to live in it.
Because they will be walking into it with an equity already.
Right.
Okay.
So they live in the house, and over the, let's say, 5-10 years, whatever it is, that silent second mortgage will slowly go away.
Gotcha.
They'll never have to make a payment. They'll never have to pay it back.
So y'all are almost like an angel loan right there.
Right.
Y'all come in.
Yeah, that's one of the programs that we work with, and that's called a silent second mortgage. And what it does, it allows us to sell the house at the appraised value, but only charge the family what they can afford.
And let me give you a round
That's
of applause.
good, yes.
That's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
There's so many families out here that need that type of help, man.
Especially now during the pandemic with everything going on.
Right.
What's been the most challenging thing for your company during this pandemic? Because you guys help and assist others. And with this pandemic, a lot of people haven't been going to work or having to work from home. So the pay has been different. So what's been the most challenging thing for you and your company?
I think the most challenging thing is most people are just not focused on home ownership right now. Everybody's looking at renting and just kind of bouncing around. And with the lack of employment, that's probably it right there.
Right.
You know, people just, a lot of people are just burrowing into wherever they live.
Yeah.
They've lost employment, they can't pay rent, and they're living under this moratorium.
Yeah.
And so we're having to get creative. We're having to find programs that will allow us to do this work and help people even under these circumstances. So the real challenge, and it's a challenge that we're working on, we haven't actually resolved yet, but is to find a way to bring economic development along with housing.
Like it. Yeah.
Right.
So you're trying to get them to be able to get in the house and sustain that
Right.
by getting a job or some type of income. So that's a full circle type situation.
Right, it is, and you got to look at the times that we're in and realize that with the great challenge is also a unique opportunity. And the unique opportunity is more and more companies are allowing people to work remotely.
Yeah.
They're
Exactly.
learning that you can do that. And so if we can leverage that, for example, we have a project, actually it's going to be affordable rentals in Macon, Georgia right now. And it was debated by the city commission, and one of the concerns was economic development. They were like, why are we building houses and we're losing jobs? So for an organization like us, traditionally we've been focused on housing. We've been kind of in that little niche.
Right.
But now we have to broaden and start considering economic development. And that might be partnering with organizations that specialize in that. But we have to think about the economic development when we bring the housing.
Right, exactly. Building houses does bring jobs to areas because you got everything from laying down the concrete to
Right.
putting the house up in general. But at the same time, once that house is built, that job is over. So you definitely would have to have some kind of sustainability in the area. Right now, we got Mr. Sadiq from Neighborhood Works. We're talking about all types of things. What have probably you seen the most common thing that people approach Neighborhood Works for?
A lot of times they approach us to help them buy a house. And that is something that we can only do in the jurisdictions we have partnerships.
Gotcha.
And so they'll call us a lot of times from different places in Georgia, some rural places in Georgia. And so one of the goals we have as an organization is to try to become more statewide.
Gotcha.
So that we have the ability to assist people, assist families, especially in the rural areas. Rural areas are very, very neglected in this state, and on a lot of levels. And if you look at the history of, let's just say, black land ownership, going way back to post-slavery, we had a lot more land. Now in the rural areas, we own maybe 1%.
Crazy.
of land.
Yeah, if you get outside of 285 and travel Georgia, just Georgia, not any of the other southern states, you see it. Like, you don't really see black people having houses, homes, or land, but it's a tons of land, houses, and things like that. So I definitely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and they've been losing the land. They it's not like we never had it. We had a significant piece of the rural land at one point in time, but a lot of systems out there, legal systems, legal devices, not knowing how to deal with heirs property, things like that. A lot of families lost land through those types of things. So we get some calls from people who are looking for help in that respect. And so we're looking into what we can do to help them.
Like that. And that's a beautiful thing. Neighborhood Works. Make sure you guys follow them online, neighborhoodworks.org. Check them out right now. They got all the information. You can get in touch with them. I see a few people on Facebook right now. They're like, how do I get in touch with them? Make sure you hit them up, especially if you're in the city of Atlanta. They do Atlanta, like you said, Bibb County, down in Macon, shaking down there. Make sure that you check in with them right there. We got you covered, man. Is there anything you would like to say to the people right now on behalf of Neighborhood Works that might, hit a little chime for them?
Well, I would say support your community development institutions, and support those organizations and those individuals who are out there working to establish the community. They're doing a lot of grunt work, but it's the work that we all ride on when we go into the great places that we go. Support them. Find a way to support them, and that's the best thing I can say, because it's a very, very challenging work, and a lot of times it doesn't have the rewards, and a lot of people sacrifice. I mean, I've worked with people who gave up big incomes and even myself, right? Coming out of corporate and going to work in the community. It's very interesting. And also beware of the political monsters out there.
Yes,
okay.
Beware the political monsters. They are out there, and if you watch your step, you can make a whole lot of strides, and they can all get wiped out real quick.
Yeah, for one person that you didn't vote for.
Right.
That's right.
That's why it's so important to vote on your local elections and see what the people that are going to be in office, to make sure that people like you, for organizations taking care of people, get that type of support. And we appreciate you coming by, man. I know this is also a Muslim-based organization, and people don't really see us as Muslim people out there doing positive things because of the media. So we want to make sure we note that, because I want people to understand that, that you guys help anybody, no matter their sexual orientation, physical ability, any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You make sure that they are taken care of.
All you need is to require a roof over your head and meet the affordability requirements.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. And we help everybody, and we work with everybody, and we're proud of that. And I encourage people to look into home ownership, look into it, and if you have heirs property, consult a lawyer. Don't try to go at it alone.
Okay.
I'll call Neighborhood Works. They'll find you a good one.
I'll find you one.
Okay.
I like it, man. Thank you so much for coming by, dropping those gems on our audience. People are gonna be hitting y'all up through your website. So get ready for that. Any other place you want them to go?
Oh no, thank you for having us. Real appreciate it. Thank you.
And that's the Reec Radio Show live, man. We taking a quick break. We'll be back to close this thing out and tell you about this what the heck line we got for the